Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to PPR Esports for the final round of our Division 1 Grand Prix. Tonight we are headed to United Arab Emirates at the Yas Marina circuit. Going into our final round here, we have Capital Hood in the lead, who unfortunately could not be with us tonight with 321 points. Followed closely behind by B-Dunk with 313 points, who should be your driver's championship as long as he finishes the race tonight. Chandler's in third, driving for Haas, 226 points, tied with Borat Love Suck with 226 points. Delirious is in fifth, driving for McLaren, followed by Muffin Man, Formula Rager, Saxman, Double OT, and Brackish rounding out your top 10. Gonna have quite a good battle in the midfield, as a lot of those guys are within just a few points of each other. So expect to see elbows out all race long. So we have our first drivers taking to the track. Unfortunately, not too many entrants tonight. But just a couple minutes, unfortunately, as Muffin Man takes to the track for the first time today. Very interesting echo effect there. A quick test of overlay. Have it as Muffin Man works his way down the back straight. DRS zone 1. Working way up to turn 7, I believe, as I will quickly pull up a track map. Muffin Man works his way under the very iconic hotel section now. Abu Dhabi being the most expensive F1 track ever built in the history of the sport. As Muffin Man begins his first flyer of the day. Thank you, Funky Cactus. We finally got our fonts updated and everything's looking pretty good so far as Muffin Man works his way around turn 3. And seeing a few of our drivers in other divisions having a lot of trouble over that turn, all the way up to 300 kilometers an hour before heavy on the brakes. Muffin Man could not get it slowed down enough. Hop on board with Chandler, who was right behind with a legendary muff. Chandler's now working his way around the hairpin slowest corner on the track. Get rid of the F1 telemetry. We'll stick with this form now as Chandler's heavy on the brakes just before the 100-meter board. Gets it turned in quickly for turn 8. And quick back on the power as we cross over the start-finish line for the club circuit. PPR Nick has died already. That is unfortunate. As not sure if we'll look at where he was. Sadly, we'll stay on board with Chandler goes, see what his first time of day looks like as we're working our way through the hotel section once more. Beginning of Sector 3. Now exiting turn 19, just a couple more corners to go. Runs into the outside of the track well there. Really relying on that rev limiter not to send a piston through his cylinder wall as Chandler crosses the line with a 134.6. Good lap for the Haas driver as Borat is charging to the line, and he will cross it with a 134.4, puts it into provisional pole for now. Expect those lap times to drop as Borat's teammate WOT put in a 136.1. Up on board the Ferrari of Indian Cyclone, now working our way around turn 17, double caution in sector 3. Presumably somebody just slowing up to let somebody finish a hot lap. As Cyclone looks to be pulling into the pits, we will hop back on board with the muff. DRS mode 4 engages DRS in zone 2. Taking another stab at a hot lap before he goes back into the pits and then changes off those Pirellis. Muffin Man takes a very tight line on entry under the hotel bridge there, trying to set up a good run out of 18. Keep our eyes on the time board at the top right, see if he can put that to use. Unfortunately, looks like he's gone to 136.8, puts him into P6 for now. Hop on board the Toro Rosso of Saxman 24. Just finished out sector 2, diving into turns 15 and 16 now. Saxman 24 goes 5th fastest with a 136.4. And Kirk put in a 136.4. He pulls back into the pits for some fresh tires. Muffin Man is on an in-lap. Sparky and Cyclone are on out-laps, as well as Delirious. We're now on board with the Red Bull of Brackish, who's about to start his first hot lap of the day. Brackish does very well to get his Red Bull slowed down there. Throws it in for the hairpin, then quick back on the throttle for the back straight. I think this is the longest straight in the F1 calendar. It's 1.7 miles long or something like that. As Brackish stomps on the brake, throws it in for turn 8, catching up slowly to the Haas of Chin, I believe. Brackish makes his way by without issue. All the way up to 320 kilometers per second. Oh, throw a little metric on, my brain just breaks. As Brackish now coming out of the 14th corner. Brackish works his way around the final corner, crosses the line with a 136.9. Unfortunately, a little bit more work to be done by the Red Bull driver as Sparky driving for Racing Point. Now entering turn 15 under the DHL board, or heavy on the brakes for turn 16. And Sparky puts in a 134.7, puts him into P3 for now. We will hop on board the Tangerine machine of PPR Delirious. Delirious struggling a bit there between 20 and 21. He's going to cross the line with a 135.2. Very good time for the McLaren driver, puts him just into P5. Also had Indian Cyclone cross the line there with a 136.3. As Brackish looks to be on an in-lap. Just under 8 minutes in qualifying remain as Chandler goes fastest with a 134.3. Now on board the Alpha of Borat, who's trying to fire back. Looks to be in ERS mode 4 now, working his way through Sector 3. As Borat takes pole back with a 134.2. Didn't even need a suck to get it done as B-Dunk's working his way down the back straight. OT looks to be in a little bit of trouble. Let's back out onto track without issue. Mercedes of Muffin Man once more. Fitted some fresh, soft Pirellis to his Formula machine as B-Dunk goes fastest. Breaks the 134 barrier, puts in a 133.97. As Muffin Man unfortunately does not improve his position, although he does improve by 3/10. And Kirk's going to be pulling into the pits for some fresh tires. Saxman 24 working his way through Sector 3. Stay here with the Toro Rosso of Saxman. There's 2 corners to go now. As he charges to the line, he's going to put in a 136.1. Improves to P7 with just over 5 minutes remaining here in qualifying for the Abu Dhabi Division 1 Grand Prix. Quick shout out to Coach, one of our Division 3 drivers, I believe. And it is the one and only Pork Fried Bryce on the mic, as always, for Division 1. If you want to hear more of my soothing commentary voice, but in a more aggressive format, you could always head on over to twitch.tv/PorkFriedBryce and give me a follow there. As Ramrod will round the final corner. He's going to cross the line with a 135.9, just breaking into 7th place. Well done by the Williams driver, as most of our back markers are setting up their final strategies for one final hot lap attempt. Ramrod and Saxman will be on in-laps. Borat, King Kirk, and Muffin Man are the first of our drivers to take back to the track for one final stab at a flyer. Looks like Borat should be the first one to start that lap, as we now see the rest of our field pulling back out onto the track. Just over 2 minutes remaining here in qualifying. If you are interested in joining the league, head on over to discord.me/PPR. Join our Discord and fill out the Season 4 sign-up sheet. Starting mid-January, that's going to be starting. And speaking of starting, Borat is starting his final hot lap of the day, working his way into turn 1. Negotiating sector 2 with no problems there, catching up quickly to the racing point of Sparky. Excuse me, that was the McLaren of Delirious. Borat looking very quick so far. B-Dunk and Chandler back out on track. Teammates with different colors, as Borat just has 2 turns to go. Takes a very aggressive line through 20 and presumably invalidates his lap. That'll do it for the Alpha driver, as Chandler and B-Dunk are on their final hot laps. We'll go on board with King Kirk, who is just about to finish his final flyer. Actually might get one more stab at it, as he's just about to cross the line with 2 seconds left in qualifying. He does, but he backs out, and that will be his starting position is no better than 8th. Taxman 24 looks to be going not fast. Muffin Man drifting around turn 19, tosses it into the 20 like he's throwing laundry in the hamper, and he's going to be pulling into the pits to retire and end the qualifying session, as B-Dunk now works his way into turn 14. Claire Williams inches closer to the TV monitor back in the pits. Frank Williams' past turns in his grave over the state of Williams currently, as B-Dunk puts in a 133.7, improves on his previous best. Chandler has just 1 turn to go, as he crosses the line with a 133.9, pushes Borat down to P3. Delirious as well, charging towards the line, throws it into 20, hits his marks well there. A little bit early on the brakes for 21, but He will cross the line with a 134, unfortunately not improving. He's going to be starting P5 for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
35.5, 35.6.
What?
That's what I was shooting for.
And
Took my bird.
Like I forgot to start a party. Let's get that done there. And here we can see the starting grid, just 13 drivers. Like to shout out PPR Nick as well as Borat Love Suck, just finished up a great Division 2 commentary for their Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It was a great race to watch over there. I'd like to also shout out Capit Hood and Ollie's as well as JWarren98, some of the best admins in the esports league management world. And I'd like to thank all of our drivers and viewers for making the transition with us. I know it wasn't easy, but we appreciate you all being here as we load in under cloudy skies. YouTube auto mod is triggered by Chandler's edginess. YouTube chill, bro. And White Mike almost made it back in time for the start of the race. Unfortunately, he will not be joining us tonight. As yeah, we don't have too many entrants. He definitely would have been right up there in the fight. Division 1 here at PPR has some of the best midfield battles I've seen. I watch real F1 when you could just watch PPR. Am I right? And here we have our Season 1 schedule, starting January 21st for Divisions 1 and 2. January 24th and 20th, respectively, for Division 3 and PC. We also have a PC Division 2 coming as well, as we're seeing a lot of signups for that. And we also have a Assetto Corsa as well as Assetto Corsa Competizione League over on PC. Both leagues have their own private hosted servers on the East Coast. ACC servers based in the Middle Coast. The place with no coasts. What's that called? Midwest? Anyways, loading in for our formation lap here, as B-Dunk will lead us around the Yas Marina circuit once more before we go lights out here for PPR Division 1. Oh, and also shout out to PPR Nick for being our awesome Twitter manager. As those skies are looking slightly intimidating, as we've got some very dark gray clouds looming off in the distance there. Not sure if it rains in the United Arab Emirates, but it looks like it might. Ooh, Sparky. Bruh. I'm not sure if that was lag or what that was exactly. But it looks like his front wing is still in one piece. As in true Codemasters fashion, we might be having some connection difficulties. The rest of our field works the way around turn 14. Take a quick look at what everybody's tire choice is for the day. Here we go. As Brackish is the only driver to do something different, going for the hard compound Pirellis. as we have a big slowdown in the hotel section, probably for double OT looking up some lady's skirt as he went under the bridge there. As we work our way back up to the starting grid, we'll ride on board with Sparky or Borat for the start of this Grand Prix, as we have our digital crowd there just ready and roaring, ready to go for the green flag of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The green flag, which that marshal is already waving in the background. As we've double caution in Sector 3, the lights are on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're out and we are racing with PPR, the final race of the season. Ferraris get tangled quickly off the start. Borat almost gets into the back of Chandler. Sparky gets cut off by Delirious, then exchanges blows. I think Sparky was having a lot of connection issues as he's already turned around and out of the race pretty much. Beatum continues to lead the field. Borat pressuring Chandler heavily going into the hairpin now. Less than a second separating our top 4 competitors as Double OT is trying to find a way around Saxman. Nick and Sparky are just hooning it in the backfield. Now B-Dunk defends to the inside. Rest of our drivers stay well within the slipstream. Muffin Man tries to establish passing position on Ramrod F1, but can't make it stick. Excuse me, rather it looks like Ramrod F1 worked his way around the outside of Muffin Man into turn 8. B-Dunk continuing to lead Chandler. Borat right on his tail at this point. Little touch of contact there. Hopefully Borat didn't pick up any lime green damage, as we know that can absolutely compromise your race in the blink of an eye. As Saxman 24 slowly tries to catch up to the 4th place PPR Delirious. Have a double caution in Sector 3 as Nick is out of the race. Back on board with Borat, just a 10th or 2 off the pace of Chandler. Approaching the hairpin once more, still no DRS assistance. Up on board now with the Williams of Ramrod, trying to find his way around PPR. Double OT. Double OT defends early to the inside. Tries to force Ramrod the long way around. And Double OT will hold him off for now. Going through the hotel section, Muffin Man trying to find his way around Ramrod. Take back 7th position if he can. A little bit of indecisiveness on entry to turn 20 won't do anything to help his time there as Chandler has the fastest lap of the race. Kirk's going to pull into the pits. Looks like he unfortunately might have picked up some damage with that early involvement with his teammate. Borat jumping his car over the turn off to the junior course there, coming out of turn 3. As Saxman 24 continues to close the distance to PPR Delirious. Chandler passes B-Dunk for P1 with the help of DRS. Then runs very wide on exit of 9. As Chandler defends back to the inside, forces B-Dunk wide. Wheel to wheel going into turn 12. Chandler comes out on top once more as Ramrod F1 sends it up the inside of OOT. OOT tries to fire back, but Ramrod works his way around the inside into 6th position as Muffin Man's now trying to join the party. Also looking to the inside of OOT. OOT still side by side with the Mercedes driver. Oh, as Muffin Man does very well to regain control of his wildly oversteering Mercedes on entry there. Picks up a 3-second time penalty, but does well to stay out of the side pod of the Alfa Romeo driver. Brilliant driving by Muffin there as Borat's dead. Not sure what happened there, but thank God for ghosting, as he could just boon it back onto the track. And, Cody's. As we have a VSC, everybody's going to reduce their speeds to the required delta. Looked like Saxman almost tried to make a move on Delirious there, but just noticed the VSC flag before he attempted it. He'd almost established passing position there as Borat and Indian Cyclone work their way back down the back straight, still under VSC conditions. No passing allowed at this moment as the VSC is now cleared and we are back to racing. Borat, after that incident, has fallen down to 9th position. Muffin Man tried to go up the inside of OOT. Couldn't make anything happen yet. He's going to try to set something up down the road as Borat picks up a 3-second time penalty for cutting corners. Saxman 24 runs very wide. Still trying to catch up to the pace of PPR Delirious, who's worked his way into 3rd place. See Saxman 24 running wide once more. Soft tires are starting to show their wear at this point as we work our way onto the 5th lap here in Abu Dhabi under the lights. Borat pulls into the pits to get a fresh front wing. And by fresh front wing, I mean a fresh glass of Macallan as he is out of the race. Muffin Man engages DRS and tries to chase down the Alpha of PPR OOT, last remaining Alfa Romeo in the race. This looks like Muffin Man is much better on his braking point there than OOT. OOT defends to the inside once more, but with the help of DRS, Muffin Man should work his way into P6 without too much of an issue. OOT struggling to get that Alpha slowed down, but ultimately avoids the Mercedes in front of him. Brackish picks up a 3-second time penalty, as we can see Indian Cyclone joining the battle just in the edge of the frame there. Just about a second separating 6th to 8th place at this point in time. Saxman 24 still continuing to try to catch up to PPR Delirious for P3. Chandler continuing to lead B-Dunk around as OOT almost loses it there. coming out of turn 4, does very well to regain control of his Alfa Romeo, as thankfully his floor pan is made of, I don't know, kryptonite or something. It's absolutely indestructible, as Indian Cyclone's going to engage DRS. OOC is going to defend to the inside, and we're back to the outside for braking of turn 8. Got a double caution in sector 1 and 2. It is for the Ferrari of King Kirk 67, who has retired from the session, will receive a few penalty points for doing so, but it's not like it matters, as those will be reset before next race. Thankfully, Codemasters has had Borat return to the track after retiring in the pits. Brilliant, as Cyclone continues to chase down WOT for P7. But for some reason, Indian Cyclone is ghosted, as WOT loses the rear end going into the hotel section. It's going to allow Indian Cyclone to work his way up the inside into P7 as B-Dunk comes into the pits for some fresh tires. It's fine to get rid of those soft Pirellis. Chandler and Delirious, as well as Saxman, will stay out. As B-Dunk now leaves the pits, WOT enters. As B-Dunk should be exiting with plenty of room around him. See Brackish just ahead. As we'll take a look once more at Muffin Man and Indian Cyclone, working their way around the hairpin. The Williams of B-Dunk engages DRS, looks to the inside of Brackish approaching turn 8. And gets the pass done before the braking point, and E. Williams is back up into 7th position. Brackish's motor is bugged out, so we will hop on board Indian Cyclone once more. Brackish picks up a 3-second time penalty for cutting corners. As B-Dunk is now joining the battle between Indian Cyclone and Brackish. Indian Cyclone with a very foolish move there allows B-Dunk to work his way up into P6. See Muffin Man there ducking into the pits for some fresh Pirellis. He's going to be joining Chandler, Delirious, and Indian Cyclone in there. As B-Dunk is back into P2, Saxman 24 is your current leader now, driving for Toro Rosso. And you know it to coach. As always, this stream is brought to you in part by beer. Sparky picks up a 3-second time penalty as Muffin Man exits the pits just behind WOT. See if he can make anything happen with the help of DRS now as we work our way onto the back straight on lap 8. WOT with a little bit of a lockup there. Both of these drivers opted for medium tires after the change. Muff engages DRS once more. WOT stays on the inside line, defending feverishly, pushes Muff very wide. Muff fires back with an over-under, tries to establish passing position, but cannot as of yet. Expect to see these two continuing to battle for the next 20 laps. So they're very similarly paced here in Abu Dhabi. Quite a challenging track, as no two corners here are really alike. Lots of double apexes, late entries, and neutral kind of throttle corners. As Saxman 24, the last of our drivers, still yet to pit, finally pulls into the garage. Pulls into the paddock, rather. WOT continues to try to run away from Muff. Ooh, Chandler almost got involved with the rear end of B-Dunk there. Engages DRS once more as B-Dunk defends to the inside, forces Chandler to the right. Both these drivers as well on medium compounds. B-Dunk able to hold P1 for now, but Chandler right on his rear end. WOT under fire from Muffin Man. Muffin Man looks to the outside going into 11. WOT much later on the brakes. Muffin Man still side by side with the Alfa Romeo. But WOT comes out on top. Oh, with a very bad run out of 14. Muffin Man tries to find a way around the outside. Cannot make it stick yet. Gets his Mercedes slowed down nice and early. Racing Point of EGC Sparky pulls into the pits as well. Chandler engages DRS once more. Stays well within the slipstream of B-Dunk. B-Dunk makes no move to defend. Chandler tries to go up the inside. Didn't have enough momentum yet. Engages DRS in zone 2. B-Dunk defends the inside once more. Chandler wiggling and squiggling out there, driving very reminiscent of the one and only squirmy 24 valve. RIP. As B-Dunk will hold P1 around turn 14 in brilliant fashion. Both those drivers really going at it as Muffin Man passed WOT for P7 during that battle between B-Dunk and Chandler. But WOT not out of the battle yet, still right behind the Mercedes of Muffin Man. Oh snap, as it looks like we might be joined by the homie. Wait, is this? No. Sorry about that. As Brackish is dead. Looks like he lost it over turn 4. Holy crap, Codemasters, are you good? Sorry about that, as B-Dunk picks up a 3-second time penalty for cutting corners defending against Chandler. WOT and Muffin Man continue to battle around Sector 2. WOT engages DRS once more. WOT trying to make something happen on entry to turn 11. Chandler looking to the outside of B-Dunk. Both drivers even on the brakes on entry to 8. Oh, B-Dunk really with his elbows out there. Chandler did not give him much room. All the time you have to leave the space. The one and only Fernando would say. I really miss Fernando Alonso in F1. He was fantastic. As Chandler is the new race leader, followed closely behind by the Williams of B-Dunk. Hop back on board. Battle between Double OT and Muffin Man. Double OT trying to make a move happen in turn 11 once more. Indian Cyclone trying once more to catch up to this battle for P6. Take a quick look, see if B-Dunk tries anything going into turn 8 on Chandler. He does. Passes Chandler back for P1 in the same fashion as previous, as Sparky's out of the race. That is so far 4 DNFs today, just 10 drivers remain. Our midfield has now become our back markers, but at this point everybody is in the points. Yeet. Board the Ferrari of Indian Cyclone for a view of this battle between Double OT and Muffin Man. Double OT with a little bit of oversteer there on 14. The ghost of Borat's past moves way into 10th place. Indian Cyclone almost parks it, waiting for Double OT and Muffin Man to figure out turn 16 there. To coach, Borat's out of it too. He's getting a DNF. He retired from the session. It's just his AI out there doing a whole bunch of nothing. WT looks to be struggling for grip just a bit at this point in time. Take a quick look at Rakish has still not stopped, the only one of our drivers to start on hard tires. We'll see how that strategy helps or hurts him at the end of this race, as we're now at the 50% mark. B-Dunk just 0.2 off the pace of Chandler, who's taking first back once more. Double OT defends the inside against Indian Cyclone, but with the help of DRS, Cyclone's able to work his way by. But not before Double OT throws his front wing into the mix, just for good measure. And Delirious has lost it in Sector 3 going into the hotel, as Ramrod's now going to be right on his tail. Delirious finally finds his way back onto the track as Williams' driver will work his way by into 4th place. Delirious is going to come into the pits to repair some damage, presumably. We'll hop on board B-Dunk once more. We'll be trying to chase down Chandler as we work our way into DRS Zone 1 on the back straight here. 1 point whatever miles long. Bidunk engages DRS once more. Trying to chase down Chandler going into turn 11. Chandler with a bit of a medium line into turn 11 there. Holds the position well. Doing everything he can to make his Haas as wide as possible. As Chandler makes a bit of a mistake there, allows Bidunk to work his way around the outside back into P1. Also have Muffin Man and Indian Cyclone going wheel to wheel into turn 11. Indian Cyclone on the inside. Will hold the position. Bidunk pulls into the pits. As Bidunk now exits the pits, he should have plenty of distance between him and his teammate Ramrod. Stay on board the battling Mercedes of Muffin Man and Indian Cyclone. Mercedes versus Ferrari, a very familiar sight in the realm of F1 in the last 10 years. As we also have Brackish pulling into the pits to finally get rid of those 17-lap-old hard tires. Muffin Man's going to engage DRS once more. Cyclone defends to the inside line, approaching turn 8. Both drivers going to be wheel to wheel. And Cyclone gets into the rear end of Muffin Man, turns him around, then gets back out of the way to yield the position. Very respectfully, gotta give him kudos for that. As Bidunk tries to establish passing position on Saxman 24. Saxman 24 holds the inside line bravely against the Williams driver. Still there, side by side now, approaching turn 20. Looks like Saxman got a much better run coming out of 19. Bidunk cuts the corner a bit as Saxman picks up a penalty. Cody's, you're bugging, yo. As WOT continues to chase down Cyclone. Chandler's going to pull into the pits for some fresh Pirellis. Muffin Man and WOT will opt for some fresh tires as well. Bidunk picks up another 3-second time penalty for cutting track corners. As Saxman tries to stay within a second of Chandler in the DRS detection zone. I'm not sure that he got it done. Apparently he did. But the Haas of Chandler is already long gone as we work our way through the ghost of Borat's past. Bit of time now separating our field. Bidunk continues to hold pole position. Bidunk puts in a new fastest lap of the race. to slip away for a moment there, but we are back with Chandler and B-Dunk going wheel to wheel around the hairpin. Saxman and Ramrod pull into the pits for some fresh tires. Chandler passes B-Dunk around the outside with the help of DRS. Hop on board once more, the battling Muffin Man and Double OT. As Muffin Man ghosted for a second there, not sure what's going on there. As B-Dunk passes Chandler back for the lead into turn 11 with the help of DRS. Chandler tries sending it up the inside, cannot make it stick yet. The old Muff and Double OT continuing to battle now, approaching turn 11. Double OT throws it to the inside. Tries to establish in passing position, but cannot seal the deal. As Indian Cyclone once again joins this melee for P6. Chandler and B-Dunk are wheel to wheel going into turn 5. A little bit of contact there as Chandler comes out on top. Thankfully, the side diffusers in F1 2019 are made of steel. They're unbreakable. Chandler defends the inside. B-Dunk whips it around the outside and picks P1 back up from the Haas driver. Hop on board for the battle between Double OT and Muffin Man now on the 21st lap. OT gets it done in turn 11 and moves up into 6th position. Muffin has to now pass him back while simultaneously defending against the attacking Indian Cyclone in his rearview mirror. Taxman 24 puts in the fastest lap of the race with 137.6. Back on board now with Chandler and B-Dunk once more battling into turn 11. Turn 8, rather, excuse me, as B-Dunk comes out on top. Chandler engages DRS once more. Fires back at the Williams driver. Trying desperately to make something stick, but B-Dunk defending brilliantly. Continuing to battle now into turn 21. B-Dunk unfortunately loses the position. See if he can fire back on the 22nd lap now, as we'll take a quick look at Muffin Man trying to make it around the outside of Double OT. Double OT defends well, but unfortunately I spoke too soon. Runs very wide on the exit of 13 and loses the position back to the Muff. board with B-Dunk and Chandler. Chandler once more trying to go up the inside, approaching the hotel section. Seals the deal and puts B-Dunk back down into P2. Oh, and a little bit of, a lot of contact there between Muffin Man, Cyclone, and Brackish. After things are sorted out, it looks like Indian Cyclone's up into P6, Double OT down into 9th. Not sure what caused the initial contact there, but it looked like Muffin Man was in a whole lot of trouble there, as well as Double OT really looks to be struggling for grip at this point in time. Just 4 laps remain till the end of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. This is, of course, your Division 1 drivers, presented as always by your friends at Pole Position Racing. Chandler defending to the inside, crossing the club circuit, start finish once more, approaching turn 11. The assistance of DRS, B-Dunk will work his way back into P1. We also have a battle forming between Ramrod and Delirious. Ramrod trying very hard to make something stick. Really struggling to get his Williams slowed down there, as Indian Cyclone just lost position to Brackish. Both these drivers must have gotten involved, as Muffin Man's almost 2 seconds ahead of them at this point. All this battling is really costing them time. It looked like Double OT really got into a lot of trouble. He's over 30 seconds off the pace of Cyclone at this point. As Chandler passes B-Dunk back in turn 8. But gets a very bad run out of 9 with the help of DRS. B-Dunk will look to the outside of the Haas driver. Approaching turn 11 once more, heavy on the brakes. B-Dunk will work his way back into P1. As we take a look at the battle between Ramrod and Delirious. Delirious holds position to the outside on entry to turn 8. Ramrod really struggling to get that Williams slowed down, but will work his way up into P4. Now Delirious will try to fire back with the help of DRS. Ramrod defends to the inside. Delirious goes wheel to wheel. Carries a lot more speed on entry to turn 11 and will gain position 5 back from Ramrod. As these two continue to battle, B-Dunk and Chandler pull into the pits. Not sure why Chandler wouldn't just stay out, as they both opt for soft tires, and will compete for the fastest lap of the race. Delirious picks up another 3 seconds of time penalties as Cyclone establishes passing position on Brackish coming out of turn 21. Both drivers very even on the brakes on entry to turn 1, still wheel to wheel going towards 2. Cyclone runs a little bit wide. Does well to handle that car over the curbs as Brackish could not hold on to things and will fall back down to P8. Ramrod trying to throw an over-under on Delirious, but cannot make it stick yet. Chandler continues to lead B-Dunk around on their fresh Pirelli tires. And with the help of DRS, Ramrod passes Delirious into turn 11 as Brackish and Cyclone battle coming out of 9. Where's turn 10? I'm definitely miscalling these turns. Oh, turn 10 is just the long bend. As Chandler picks up his first time penalty of the day, I believe, 3 seconds for corner cutting. Our D1 drivers seeing a lot less time penalties accrued compared to our Division 3 drivers who on Friday, I think one driver had about 30 seconds of time penalties if I recall. Brackish picks up a 3-second time penalty for cutting corners. Delirious continues to try to chase down B. Williams of Ramrod F1. Delirious with a very aggressive line on entry to 5. Now working our way around turn 7, Delirious right on the rear end of Ramrod. We'll see if we can get anything happening with the help of DRS. Unfortunately, it looks like he got a pretty bad run out of 7. He's going to struggle to catch back up to the Williams driver. Can't make anything happen yet. A little bit of a lockup there. Indian Cyclone looks to the inside of Brackish approaching turn 8. Gets the pass done with the help of DRS as Ramrod passes Delirious back for P4. Going through turn 12 now. Chandler puts in the fastest lap of the race with 1:36.02. As Indian Cyclone and Brackish continue to battle coming out of turn 14. Looks like Indian Cyclone's going to pass Brackish for P7. B-Dunk now within a half second of Chandler on the final lap of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. B-Dunk will have the assistance of DRS to try to make one final pass on Chandler for P1. Work our way to the end of Sector 1. B-Dunk looks to the inside of the Haas driver. Both drivers even on the brakes. B-Dunk on the inside, Chandler on the outside. B-Dunk will work his way around, though, into P1, but Chandler will fire back with the help of DRS. Works his way up the inside of B-Dunk on entry to turn 11. Drivers wheel to wheel now coming out of 13. Chandler tries to throw it around the outside on entry to the hotel sector. Still wheel to wheel coming out of turn 19, now approaching 20. B-Dunk on the inside forces Chandler the long way around, a little bit of contact there. Chandler tries to fire back up the inside, can't make it stick as B-Dunk crosses line first, but unfortunately falls to second. As a result of time penalties accrued over the course of the race, Saxman 24 will finish P3. Ramrod now approaching the line as Delirious celebrates the end of the season in very sideways fashion as Cody's refuses to give us a good angle of it. one of our veteran drivers here at the league. Always a pleasure to commentate his drives. Today he had an absolutely stellar performance today. As Bufferman finishes P5, Cyclone P6, Brackish P7. Delirious does not give a damn. He's just out there to roast those Pirellis till they run down to the rim. We'll bring it back to the garage, give it to his mechanics, and say, here, you deal with it. As he finally now hoons his way around the final corner. Fireworks falling back down to the track as the front wheels are smoking in true all-wheel drive burnout fashion, because as you know, Formula cars are obviously all-wheel drive turbo hybrids. Duh, everybody knows that. As that will do it for your Division 1 PPR Championship. If my math is correct, I think B-Dunk will take the Drivers' Championship. Renault will take the Constructors' Championship. I'd like to congratulate both B-Dunk and Capital Hood on their performance this year. I think we have Chandler's going to be finishing P3 in the Drivers' Championship, followed by Borat P4. And in P5 in the final standings, we should have PPR Delirious, I believe, rounding out your top 5 for the Drivers' Championship here at PPR. Actually, excuse me, with that win, I believe Williams will as well win the Constructors' Championship. Renault finishing P2. Alpha finishing P3, Haas P4, McLaren P5. That should do it for the Constructors' Championship, as we are now joined in the interview room by B-Dunk and Chandler. Would go first to Chandler with the race win today. Awesome drive, man. Great battles between you and B-Dunk. We'll get your thoughts on the race, and great job not getting too many penalties, something very easy to do at Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, I saw Borat was right on me the first lap, so I thought he was going to pace, but looks like he just burned out his tires too quickly. And from there, I knew it was just going to be me and B-Dunk and I going on our own, so I knew that was going to be the person I'd be battling with. I for sure think I was the quicker one of us, but not by a whole lot. Definitely the pace between us was a lot closer than we thought. But from there, I figured there's no point trying to push, just to battle a little bit, I guess. Last race of the season, why not go on? That wouldn't make any sense because it'd be a dull race if I just push. So decided I'd lift my pace just a little bit, but I didn't have to by much. B-Dunk was right on the pace. But from there on, we were just battling. We had some really good battles, especially through the third sector. That was pretty cool. But yeah, overall, just good race. Not 100% pace, but it was a good race overall, and it got me the win.
Yeah, man, that was a awesome show, and we'll go now to B-Dunk, the Drivers and Constructors Championship, winner, if my math is correct. Awesome drive, man. Let me get your thoughts on the race and the season as a whole.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought when the Twitter manager and Borat told me that Cap wasn't going to make it today, I thought they were trying to play a spooky little joke on me to try to get me all hyped up. Well,
yeah, I wish we could have seen that battle come down to the last race, you know?
I know. I really wanted that battle to happen. I mean, it's been pushing all season. I mean, we've both had our good and bad races, but, you know, at the end of the day, the consistency is key. I may not have as many wins as Cap did, but the consistency is what came down to it. I constantly kept getting, like, second, third, fourth place finish here and there, so. But, yeah, I think the season as a whole went pretty well. I definitely wasn't expecting to be champion. I will say that now, so. I'm kind of grateful to be it. So, me and Ramrod, and we're gonna go have a party now.
Hey, there you go, man. Enjoy the spoils of the PPR victory. And we're now joined by the third place podium finisher, Saxman24. Saxman, awesome drive. Great to have you on the podium, man. Let me get your thoughts on the race today as a whole. Some great driving out there.
Yeah, thanks. I was not expecting the pace that I had through the middle stick there on the mediums. I was catching delirious pretty quickly. It kind of pulled away from me on the first day. And I do have to say, I apologize to B-Dunk. I was trying to get out of his way, and I just couldn't figure out where he was. And I hope I didn't do anything like that. But overall, just really pleased to cap the season with a podium. I think this is my first PPR. I had a couple close chances this season, and so it just felt really good to have a solid drive and have a pretty decent racing.
Yeah, man, great performance. Go ahead.
Yeah, Sax man, you didn't do anything, but I thought you were trying to battle, so I was just quickly trying to get around you just to make sure that undercut worked on channel. You didn't do any damage or anything, but it was a fun battle that we had.
It's all
Sorry to
love
bring
here
up,
at
Bryce.
PPR. No worries, guys. That will do it tonight for all of us here at PPR. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to join us after the winter break, January 21st. We will be back with Season 1 of PPR, starting things officially. And on behalf of all of us here at PPR, thanks so much for watching. And have a great holiday. Stay well.
No.